Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well. In this video, we'll discuss the second problem of Leetcode Weekly Contest 307. The problem name is largest palindromic number. You are given a string num consisting of digits only. We need to return the largest palindromic integer in the form of a string that can be formed using digits taken from num. Now it should not contain leading zeros. Also, we do not need to use all the digits of num, but we must use at least one digit, right? And the digits can be reordered. So yeah, this one, and we can also see the acceptance criteria of this problem is pretty low because we have a tricky test case here, like a category of test cases that basically can fail your solution if you do not take care of that test case. I'll discuss that in the when I discuss the solution. So let's directly jump into the solution and see what will be the approach. So that will be, if I talk about the first example, so that is 4 4 4, then we have 9 4 7 1 3 7, right? I need to return the largest palindromic number. So what is the largest digit that has even frequency, right? So that is 7. So I add 7 here, and also for symmetricity I add 7 here at the end of the string, right? What is the next largest digit having even frequency? That is 4. How many 4s are there? 1 2 3 4. So add 2 4s here, add 2 4s here, right? Do we have any other digit having even frequency? So no. That means, is it so? No, now I cannot place a number here and here, right? Now if possible, I can place a number having odd frequency at the middle part. What is the largest number having odd frequency? That is 9. So I place 9 here. So the number becomes 7 4 4 9 4 4 7, right? This is my answer. If I talk about the second example, so that is 0 0 0 0 something 9. So you need to return 9 in this case, because obviously you can't do something like 0 0 9 0 0, because you cannot have trailing zeros. The question says that, right? And you need to use at least one digit. What about suppose 1 0? So in this case you return 1. What about 1 0 1? You return 1 0 1, right? So these are certain test cases. So first I'll talk about the generic solution, and then we'll see what is the tricky test case. So the first thing is that calculate the frequency of each digit, right? So suppose this is the frequency array. This is something like this, right? Something like this. We have 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Coincidentally I got the right number of boxes. Okay, so we have total 10 possibilities, 0 to 9. Now calculate the frequency of each digit, right? Just calculate that. Now also take a couple of strings. Let's call them prefix and suffix. I'll tell you why I've taken that. Let's call them prefix and suffix. So whenever you construct a palindrome, you have two parts. Suppose I have 1 2 2 1. So we have two parts, right? So let's call it prefix and let's call it suffix, right? That is why I've taken two strings in this case. Now let's see. Also take a variable odd. I'll tell you why. Let's initialize it by -1. Now what happens? You start traversing the frequency array from 1. Once you have calculated the frequency, start traversing from 1. Don't include 0 right now. I'll tell you the reason for that as well. Start traversing from 1, and now what you do, you every time check what is the frequency of the current digit, right? Just check that. So suppose the frequency of the current digit is 2, like if 1 has occurred 2 times. So what you do, that means you can add the 2 ones in your final answer. And how many occurrences of 1 can you add in your prefix? Just 1. And in suffix, just 1. If it would have been 4, like if 1 would have occurred 4 times, so what you have done, you would have added 2 times 1 here and 2 times 1 here, right? Basic stuff. Whatever is the frequency, divided by 2 and add half in the prefix, add half in the suffix, right? What if the frequency is odd? So if the frequency is something like if 1 has occurred 5 times, what you do, you add the 4 occurrences in prefix and suffix, and then just update this variable that, okay, this is the digit that has occurred odd number of times. So this variable will be used to keep a track of the largest digit that has odd frequency. Largest digit, like for example, if 1 2 5 and 9 all have odd frequency, so finally after the loop has ended, odd will have a value of 9. Why? Because To make a palindrome, what I can do, I can have a prefix, I can have a suffix, right? This will make the length even, because if the length of this is x, this is also x. I can also add a digit here, if right, I can also add a digit here. So what I can do, I can add something like 9 here if that is present, or 8 here, whatever is the largest possible value that I have, right? If that should be odd frequency, because if it would have been even frequency, then I would have added something like 8, right? 8 here as well, 8 here as well, right? So that's the main reason. So yeah, this is the main trick that we will be using. So start reversing. Now move to the second digit. Suppose that is 2. Oh, just a second. Suppose that is 2. Now just imagine, suppose the frequency of 2 is let's assume 4. That means 2 has occurred 4 times. Now to make the largest number in prefix, you need to add 2 as in the form of prefix. Like you have 1 1, so you don't add 2 here, no, you add 2 here to make it a larger number. And similarly in suffix, you append 2 at the end to make it a palindrome, right? What you are doing, whatever number you are adding here, you add here as well to make it symmetric, right? So if the frequency is 4 divided by 2, add 2 occurrences here, 2 occurrences here. But where do you add those integers? Add it in the beginning, right? Add it in the beginning to make a larger number. Now suppose you come to 6. Suppose you have traversed and you come to 6. Suppose 6 has 2 occurrences. So you add 6 here and 6 here. Because it will make a larger number, right? So this is the generic thing that we are doing. Now what happens, and we also keep on updating the odd variable, right? Now you come out of the loop and you check the case for 0 as well, because the case for 0 will be different. Why it will be different? Suppose we have 0 and it has certain frequency. Now suppose 0 comes 4 times. So what I need to do, I need to add 2 times 0 here and 2 times 0 here. But I was adding all the numbers in the beginning like this, but 0 will not be added like this. 0 will be added like this. It will be appended in a prefix and it will be prefixed in a suffix, right? So that means suppose 1 1 2 2 6 is my suffix. So what I'll do, I'll add 0 here. All the numbers I was adding here, but this I'll add here. And in prefix, all the numbers I was adding here, but this will be added here, right? So this is the other case that is there. Now let's talk about the tricky case. The tricky case here is that, because of which most of the solutions are failing. Suppose you have a test case 0 0, right? So now what you do, in this case we need to return 0 in the form of our answer, because we cannot have trailing zeros. Hence I have added an extra check in my code, and then hence it got accepted in the contest. So yeah, I'll just show you. But yeah, this is the tricky case here. Suppose you have a string which has only zeros, right? Only zeros, no other digits. So forget about whether the number of occurrences of zeros are even or odd. So in this case, you will just return 0. No other number, valid number can be formed. Hence, we return 0 in this case. This was a tricky case. Let's come to the code. I'm recording this video for the second time. In the first time when I recorded during the contest, there was no audio in that. I had to record all the videos second time. So yeah, that is taking time. So again, you can see on line number 4 and 5, I have calculated the frequency of each and every digit. On line number 8 and 9, I have taken the prefix and the suffix string builders just for optimization. I have taken the odd variable, and then what I am doing, on line number 13, you can see I am checking if the current digit has odd frequency. Just update the odd variable as told in the explanation, and then what you do, you calculate what is the frequency of the current number in CT. So, and hence insert the current number at the beginning in a prefix and at the end in a suffix. That is what we are doing on line number 18 and 19, right? We do it for all the digits. We come out of the loop. Now we write the tricky case here. We check if odd equals -1. That means there was no number having odd frequency, and prefix dot length equals to 0. That means there was no number having even frequency as well. That means there was no number apart from 0. No number were no digits were there from 1 to 9. Hence return 0 in this case. This is the tricky part. Now line number 25 says that if odd equals to -1, that means you do not have a number having odd frequency. But if 0 has an odd frequency, so what you do, you make odd equals to 0, and we'll add it in the middle at the end, right? And then in line number 28 29, what you do, you again check, and in this case, for case of 0, what you do, you add 0 at the end in a prefix and in the beginning for a suffix. So here we can see suffix dot insert at 0th position and prefix dot append at the last position. That is why just reverse for what has been done in line number 18 and 19, right? And finally on line number 36 we check that if odd is not equals to -1, just append it in the middle, and prefix dot append suffix, finally return the prefix, and we are good to go, right? So yeah, this was, I would say this was a good problem, to be very honest, covering all the edge cases. You learn a lot from these type of problems, that how can you cover most of the cases and the tricky ones as well, the edge cases. So yeah, hope you learned something new from this video. Do support it by giving up a thumbs up. Do subscribe to the channel. In case you have any issues or any queries, do mention that in the comments. I'll try to resolve each one of them. Thank you, take care, bye bye.